Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today on this beautiful Thursday? For once, I didn't mute my mic or leave my mic muted. So, what is everybody reading? Tell me about what's been going on with your lives the last week. For those in the United States, did you have a good long weekend? Did you do anything fun? We ended up having a pretty quiet weekend here at our house. We had some work to do in our basement, so we were just working on the basement. We had a little bit of a water issue with our water tank. So we got that fixed, and then my husband really wants to move his desk down there cuz it gets really hot in his office in the summer. So we were kind of getting the basement cleaned up. So I'm hoping this weekend to get more progress done on that so we can help him out. Hey Sam, how are you doing? Gold star on the mic. Yes, thank you so much. Someone very kindly said to me, "You get used to it after a while, but it takes some time." And it's very true. It takes a little bit of time. What is everybody reading? Tell me the good news. While you guys type it out, I'll tell you what I'm reading. So I'm reading a book called Hunted by Megan Spooner. It is for a book club that I participate in called A Court of Pong and Literature. Hey Sarah, how are you? The I don't really know a whole lot about the book. I'm about 45% done, which the book club is tomorrow. So I need to get it done, but in my usual fashion, I'm waiting till the day before. But the general vibe of what I'm getting is it's kind of a Beauty and the Beast story, where, the girl's captured and the guy is some sort of beast, and the character, like, the chapters actually refer to him as Beast. Oh, good job, Sarah. Sarah said she finally finished Mistborn Well of Ascension today. That is a hefty book, so you should be so proud of yourself. That's a long read. Oh my goodness. Did you love it? Anything you'd like to share? This is Body Grief. So is Body Grief, is that a, like, nonfiction? Okay. Sam says, I should be reading Stag Dance for book club. I feel like reading trash, so you may read Bone Rider. Based on the name of the book, I'm gonna guess Bone Rider is a dark romance or a romance of some sort. Oh, let me grab the other one I want to share with you guys. Once I finish, it was fantastic. Now I need to read the last one. So how many books are in that series? Because I know, like, Brandon Sanderson has, like, a whole, like, series that has a lot of books, and all of his books are, like, biblical length. But how many are in this particular one? Romance. Is it like the motorcycle one, Sam? Are we gonna have motorcycles in it again? Do tell. Um, so I'm reading Hunted, which is for tomorrow night's book club. This book club is actually kind of fun. Um, Basically we all put in books that we want, and, like, the top 8, I think it is, that books that are recommended. We play pong for it. We don't do beer pong. We're all too old for that. Um, and we just, like, do pong to pick the book. So that's how Hunted ended up winning. So we do this quarterly. We get together at my friend Jess's house and we read a book and we discuss it and we play games, and then we do pong to pick our next read, which is a lot of fun. Sarah says the set is 3 in the series. Okay, so you have, like, another Bible to read. But then you'll be done, right, with that particular series? And then she says that Body Grief is nonfiction about how we go through hard stuff with trying to find body positivity and or neutrality. So is that anything like The Body Keeps the Score? Because I've heard a lot about that one and I'm very interested in reading that. I think I even have it. I'd have to look through my stuff. But Sam says, no, this one has an alien that lives in someone's. Why are they living in their body? What are they doing? Do you care to tell? Can you tell? Is it YouTube appropriate? Because something tells me it's not. No, that one is traumatizing. Oh, okay. Body keeps the score. Yeah, I've heard that, but I think it's important too, right? Sometimes we don't realize what we're holding on to when we don't let things go up here and how it affects us everywhere else. Um, that being said, so I am reading Hunted. It's very much Beauty and the Beast, but I think there's going to be some twists on it. Would I say it's like the most fantastic read I've ever done? No. Oh, because he's stranded on Earth, he's goo and has to live somewhere. Oh, okay, forgive me. Like, for forgive me, Sam, I didn't realize. Romance, though, just saying. Um, but the next one I have, so I have a book club on Monday, which it's with my local bookstore, which is called Inscribe Books, but it's called Let's Call Her Barbie, and it's all about the creation of Barbie. And the fun thing about this particular, and the author is Renee Rosen, so if you want to look it up. So it's all about the history of Barbie, the creation of Barbie, all about the woman that created her and stuff like that. Um, I'm really excited about it. I think the creation of Barbie is very fascinating considering she's like 66 years old today or this month or something. She came out around the same time that my mom was born or a year after, so not too long after. So it's fun for me to think about my mom being the same age as Barbie. It's kind of cool. Um, but I'm excited to read this one. And the other cool thing is in the back of the book, they actually have like pictures. Let me find a good one here. So if you didn't know, the original Barbie, let me center that for you guys. The original Barbie was actually in a bathing suit that was black and white. And it was black and white, and her glasses were like a blue color, which I think is really cool. So I have to read that by Monday, so I'll be sure next week to share with you all what I thought about it. But so far, I've been hearing really good things from my friends. We're all going to be wearing pink. They're going to have Barbie themed cocktails to go with the book. I think it's just going to be a really fun night. I have been going to that book club. I kind of stopped for a little bit because my mom and I would go together, but my mom ended up having a really busy schedule. But hopefully, she actually retires tomorrow, which is the plan, and she'll be able to start joining me later. But as of right now, I'm doing this one with some of my girlfriends, and we're all gonna wear pink. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, the chevron, right? Isn't that interesting that she wasn't in pink? The pinkness of Barbie didn't come till much later, which I thought was really interesting. Same thing with like Ken. Ken kind of was very color muted for a long time. So I'm excited to read it, but I have to read it by Monday. So I have to finish Hunted and then I have to turn around and I have to read the Barbie one. And then the Amazing Readathon actually starts this weekend for those that are seriously participating. I am on Team Illusionist, so I'm really excited if you want to join. And tomorrow I've got to finish editing it, but tomorrow I'm releasing a video with all of my piles of possibilities based on the prompt. So be sure to check to the channel tomorrow and see. I don't know how good it's going to be. I'm trying. This is all new, so forgive me if you watch it and you're like, "What the heck?" I won't be offended. So, and Sam says, and if he wants to watch Die Hard and take the name McClane, more power to him. Yeah. Oh, Sarah says, and I agree about the body keeps the score, but prefer more gentle models for somatic experiencing. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, especially with all the stuff that's been coming out now about magnetic therapy and all those things. So, yeah. Oh, thank you, Sarah. I'm. It's really just so I'm using the tool CapCut to edit my videos, and I don't know if that's the best tool out there for it. So I will kind of have to see how that goes. But the first video that I posted a few weeks back, I did use that tool, and it seemed to work just fine. Sam says, or Sarah says, Sam, that sounds like Third Rock from the Sun. Is it anything like that? Also, I know they're not here, but I'm still, like, baffled that we had someone a few weeks ago that had never eaten Taco Bell. I think about that all the time. I see we have 3 people here. If the other person wants to talk about what they're reading, I'd be happy to talk to you about it. If not, that's totally fine. You don't have to share. Did everybody have Sam, I know you're not here, but did you have a good Memorial Day, Sarah? You do anything fun? Oh. And I think last week I was reading Ruthless Creatures. I think that was oh, Glenda said I'll be reading August Lane by Regina Black and Nat Galley Arc. Oh, good for you. Is it good? What genre does it fall into? You'll have to tell us. I was reading Ruthless Creatures last week, which is a dark romance, and I was talking about how it's not really my type of genre, but I will say I finished that book and I actually really enjoyed it. So much so that I ended up buying the rest of the series because I am very curious about all the characters. It is a mafia dark romance. So, if you're not really into mafia stuff, keep that in mind, but I actually really did enjoy it. Oh, Sarah went to Grand Rapids and had a needed break. Ah, it's too bad it wasn't like was it warmer over there? Because it was pretty cold this weekend for us, in the 60s over here. So Sam, that would be like the like high 20s for you, I think, roughly. So it was a little bit chilly, but which I don't mind. I'm not a hot girly. I like to be cold. I like to be able to wear hoodies year round. Oh, Glenda says August Lane is a romance involves a black female country singer. That's exciting. That's really cool. I'm excited to hear that. Sam Sam says, Sarah, I don't know about that, but my reads are definitely unhinged more often than not. Sam, it just is par for the course for you. I'm never surprised at your reads. Though I have added some good ones to my list because of you, and I put them on my wish list for the exchange. So okay, so we do have one new person. So Glenda, I wanted to talk. I'll just kind of filling you in on my sprints. So I do not have the capacity to sit for 90 minutes and read. It doesn't work that well for me. So I actually have that. I do 45 minutes of reading, 30 here and your body stat. Okay. I do 45 minutes of reading and 15 minutes of break with the goal of to do 3 full rounds. So we'll go from about 8 p.m. Eastern time till about 11 p.m. Sometimes we talk a little bit longer than 15 minutes if people are reading good books. Um, yeah. And then, you know, I'm around. I will get up and walk around. I can't sit, so I tend to listen to a lot of my books, but the one I'm reading is on Kindle, so I'll have to sit. But I will be here, so if you have questions, concerns, anything like that, that's totally fine. And I really just, the goal is to just sit and read. And it's kind of like I've been telling people, this is basically parallel play where we all read what we want to read, but we also, have someone that we know is there. For today's stream, I'm going to try to play some like rain sounds or anything like that to kind of give a little bit more ambiance instead of dead silence. If you don't like that, do not hesitate to tell me. I don't mind turning it off. It doesn't bother me one bit if you're like, hey, not here for that. So, oh, Sam says she saw the influx of Sager. Yeah, Sam, was it you who recommended Riley Sager to me? Because there is someone that has recommended Riley Sager to me, and I thought it was one of my mystery thriller friends, but now they're telling me that it's not them. So I can't figure it out. But I bought a Riley Sager book. Barnes and Noble had a buy one get one half off moment, and so I got an Agatha Christie book because I love Agatha Christie, and then I got um no. Yeah, well, I actually got 4 books. I got Murder by Cheesecake, a book by Agatha Christie, Murder on the Nile, and then I got The Bone Keeper and Daisy Darker by Alice Feeney, and there was, like, 3 Riley Sagers on there, but I don't know who told me to buy Riley Sager. I can't figure it out, but I've heard really good things. So I was, like, trying to figure out who it was so I could be like, "Hey, I bought this book. Let's talk about it." But I don't really know what happened there. No, but you've read a bunch and have Oh, you have thoughts. Can you fill me in on those thoughts? You don't have to do it here. We can talk later. But you don't like it? Just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down either way. I wonder if it's like so I've read like Megan Miranda. I've got a couple of their books and I really like them. So this is the tough thing. So I think I like psychological thrillers more than I like just traditional like murder stuff. I like when there's an element of you can't figure out what's really happening. Like, for example, Lisa Jewell's None of This is True. Like, through a lot of the book, you don't really understand what is happening. Okay. Sam says they're a guilty pleasure, but not super great. Okay. Well, sometimes you just need a guilty pleasure, and I tend to read for pleasure. I don't. I've said this before. I am not a reading critic. It's not my job to read or judge a book. So, I mean, if I really don't like it, that's one thing, but okay. Well, thank you for telling me that, Sam. I appreciate it. So, we have reached our first 15 minutes. We can discuss after you read House Across the Lake. Ooh, okay. So we've reached 8:15. I'm going to go ahead and start our first sprint. Let me get everything set up so I can transition that over. And then I will be around, but I will see you guys in 45 minutes. Bye. Okay. Let me transition here. There we go. How did everybody's 45 minutes go? I think I read about 3 chapters of my book. So overall, it was pretty good. I'm about 40% done. Again, according to Kindle, I have like 3 hours left in the book, give or take. So I'll be able to finish it before tomorrow, no problem. We still have another 2 hours here, and then I can just get up in the morning and read. Also, looks like Danielle joined. Hey, Danielle. How's it going? Where'd you guys go to dinner? Any place good? Also, I did leave the rain sound playing. Is it overpowering at all, or is it okay? I'm not sure how much of a delay there is today. Favorite Chinese food? That's funny. We had Chinese food for dinner tonight too, but unfortunately, there's not a lot of good Chinese food around here. It's not bad. It's your stereotypical American Chinese food, but I wish we had better stuff. What are you reading tonight, Danielle? Anything good? And Sam, how's your I don't even know how to describe your alien book going? Is that what you ended up reading? I know you were saying you're supposed to read something for book club. Also, for the new people, I'm reading a book called Hunted. Uh I think it's basically a Beauty and the Beast story. He needs he kills her father and he captures her and he keeps her in a jail cell. But the only difference is basically changing he's basically training her to do something because he's cursed, but we don't know what the curse is. Again, I'm only 40% in, so I'll let you guys know as I read more. Let's see. Danielle said, I just finished The Art of Blackberry Grange, which is really good, and now I'm reading The Perfect Marriage so that I can read Perfect Divorce for a book club next month. I have The Perfect Marriage on my Kindle. It's on my list of books to read. I was trying to find a prompt for Escape the Readathon for that, but I don't know that it necessarily falls under any. Sam said, I chose responsibility and read the book club read. That's what I'm doing. There's other books I'd much rather be reading, but I should read this one because the last book club I didn't finish for this particular book club, but I am interested to see how this plays out. Right now it's sitting at like a 3.75 stars. Maybe a 4. So what is your book club read about, Sam? Like what kind of book is that one? You said it's Stag Dance? Um I don't know if we've escaped the cruise. I don't think we have. Let me look. Did you? No, we haven't escaped, Sam. Hey, Aiden, thanks for joining. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we've escaped. Danielle, I don't think we have. Oh, it's 2 short stories um and a novella. Oh, so it's really short. Or is it long because it's 3 short stories? Hi Aiden, what are you reading tonight? Oh, you're also at the bar game. That's what we're working on right now. Aiden, what are you reading tonight? Danielle says it will work for Brain One or whatever one is a book with higher ratings than your last read. If I finish it before they finish the bar game. Okay. Oh, it's fine. Join whenever you can. I'm just happy that you're able to join it all. Reading Havoc by Christopher Bolin. Okay, what category is Havoc in? Do share. So far, we have Danielle's reading The Perfect Marriage. Sam is reading, well, she was debating between a book club pick, which is coming up, or I gotta find the name of it. Stag Dance for her book club, or Bone Rider, which is a trash book. It's an alien type book. Sarah is reading let's see, hold on. Sarah is reading a nonfiction called This Is Body Grief. I'm reading Hunted for a book club tomorrow night. Aiden says, are we talking about upcoming or May readathon? So we're talking about the May readathon. Sam just asked if we had escaped the cruise yet. We have not. Our team has not, and it sounds like Sam's hasn't either. But I think, are we on our last room? I think the bar was our last room. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't really been following it the last couple of days because I've been busy. I think we're on the last one. It's messed up. So Aiden says that Havoc by Christopher is messed up, psychological thriller, less thriller than just totally twisted, octogenarian and 8-year-old get into just twisted battle of wills and many deaths occur. That is wild. Oh, Danielle says we still have the dining room. I don't think we're escaping. It's like 2 days and we're in the middle of a 48-hour, another like 48-hour thing it looks like. I was just looking at it. They were given a choice for what to do with your library pages, and they chose to use the pages to remove time for your 48 hours in the concierge desk. You will not know how much time has been removed until the readathon ends, but it'll be less than 48 hours. As soon as the readathon is now over, you will be given instructions. Okay, Ada says you all are champions to go from one readathon to the next. Danielle says it fuels me. I love it. I kind of tend to agree there. Normally, I would be like really, really excited and involved. I mean, I had a little bit of an issue, but I've just been really focusing on my book club reads recently. So that's part of the issue for me. Let me get this corrected. Here we go. Sam says that sounds unpleasant, like the Stephen King story with the evil kid, which may fit several books. Yeah. To be fair, I'm not speed reading. I'm just vibing with the prompts. So that's one thing that's really good for me for the readathons is like I have so many books on my TBR. To be honest, I couldn't even tell you how many. And so it forces me to look through my piles and see what I've got and then read books that like maybe I wouldn't have picked up because there's a new shiny one over here. So, by the way, for those that have book of the month, they did release the new one. So go ahead and do that if you're getting a book this month. I haven't looked yet, but I do know they're out there. I will say I did get a pretty book recently if you guys want to see it. I don't know anything per usual. I know zero about the story, but it is called Shield of Sparrows and it has a pretty sprayed edge. And then for me, I love when there's artwork on the inside cover. And then it's got this beautiful art here, which is like gold and shiny. And the side is golden shiny. And then, let's see. I think it's the same. Yeah, it's the same on the back. My understanding is it's fantasy too. So, but yeah, isn't it beautiful? I got this one. It came out last month, I think, or this month, earlier this month. I just loved it. That's pretty sprayed edge. You know me and my sprayed edges. So I'm just looking at my pile over here too. I've got a bunch that still need to be put on my shelves. So, um, Beth is asking where I shop for books. So it really depends on what's going on. 99% of the time I try to buy my books from my local indie bookstore. I would prefer to shop local and buy in person from someone who could really benefit from it. But every now and then I will purchase a book from Amazon. I think I average maybe one or two books a year from Amazon. Um and then I also buy I do a lot of Kindle reads because it's easier for me to travel with a Kindle. And then I also do buy from Barnes and Nobles too, but Barnes and Nobles, that is such a Midwest thing. Barnes and Noble. Um, but I don't buy from there as much either. So really most of my is from a local book club. Let's see. Looking forward to seeing your pick options, Jackie. Yeah, virtual silent book clubbers, we got to throw up a Google sheet. Yeah, definitely. So we have this is for you, Beth. So we are participating in a readathon next month, and I'm actually putting out I'm planning, I got to edit it still, but I'm planning to put out a video tomorrow about my pile of possibilities for the readathon. Okay. And Google Sheets. Yeah, whoever wants to do a Google Sheet, go ahead and throw it up there and I can add my stuff. Danielle and I have a note on our phones where well, she's filled out a lot. I haven't quite added all of mine yet, but I did put together a list like kind of last night and today. But I'm trying to just pick from what I've got on hand, either on like physical copy or on my Kindle to try and avoid getting new books. Um, Danielle says, Book of the Month books look good. Yeah, I'll have to check it out on our next sprint. Aiden says, maybe we can start one this weekend. I'm thinking Spontaneous Springs tomorrow night or Saturday. You mean sprints, Aiden? Sprints with the surprise in the room. Okay. I'm around. So Saturday we are celebrating my mom's birthday. She turned 67. And tomorrow is her last day of work. She's officially retiring tomorrow. So we're gonna be celebrating her this weekend. And then Sunday I have my last pottery class. So I talked a little bit about this, but I have been doing pottery on the pottery wheel. So last week we did our first round of glazing, and then Sunday I have to do my last round of glazing. But I'm available both evenings if you guys want to put something together to do some sprints or anything like that. Oh, thank you, Aiden. Yeah, I gotta figure out. So I got her a birthday gift, but I'm trying to decide if I want to get her like a retirement thing. But I'm kind of thinking I want to plan like a trip with her, like her and I to go on a cruise or something to celebrate. But I've got to figure out the budget first. Speaking of which, Danielle, this is just for you. I'm planning to come on Thursday and stay till Monday. I just got to book my flight. I'm cat sitting Kauai this weekend, so either night works if anyone has a preference. Okay, cool. Yeah, you guys tell me because I'll be around. Also, Beth, what are you reading? I know you kind of popped in for a second there. Is there anything you want to share? Also, don't forget to drink your water and stretch your legs. Speaking of which. Sorry if you could hear the swallowing. I hope not. Also, do you guys get random, like, look at this ad on my Kindle. An Irish World War II story. Okay. We have the To tour the hospital. Oh, let me pause that. Hold on one second. To tour the hospital Thursday from 4 to 5:30, the only day they have available. Otherwise, you're free. Okay. So I'll let you know what time we're flying in, and then we'll go from there. Sam says, I'm seeing if this migraine gets full blown. But don't wait on me. Aiden, you can update me on the surprise. That's so exciting. Congrats. I'm really excited for my mom too. She's been talking about it for 3 years, so I'm glad she's actually going to follow through with it. Originally, it was supposed to be the end of April, but they asked her to stay. Okay, can you teach me, let's see. Beth said I get random ads too. Yeah, this is called The Star and the Shamrock. It's an Irish World War II story. A Jewish mother who knew nothing of Ireland, an Irish woman without a child. So I don't read that genre, so I'm really surprised by that. Yeah, there's a surprise, Aiden. Also, Danielle, can you teach me how to do that on the Kindle? I'll bring both of them down when I come see you, and you can just mess with my settings on them. Because I could literally get advertised a book that I just read. So, yeah. Ada said something about a surprise. Let me see. Okay, so Aiden said, I'm thinking spontaneous sprints tomorrow night or springs, but sprints tomorrow night or Saturday. And Sam said, and yes, sprints with the surprise in the room. Our Cosme room got an upgrade. I'm really I'm so excited. That's really cool. Yeah, if you guys want to throw that on the calendar, let me know. Beth, we do this is part of the virtual silent book club. So there is a link in my bio if you want to join that. We do random sprints, but we have regularly scheduled meetings that's hosted by Allison, our friend Allison. So you definitely want to check her out. Okay, in the spirit of keeping us on track, because I could talk to y'all forever, I'm going to go ahead and move us into our next sprint. So make sure, if you haven't in the last hour, please get up, walk around, get your water, stretch your body, respect your mind, respect your body, and then get back to reading. And I will see you all in 45 minutes. Hello, everybody. How did your sprint go? I felt like that one went super fast, but I think it's because I'm editing my video for tomorrow. And there's nothing more awkward than watching footage of yourself and catching how many times you go when you're recording a video. I didn't really get much done in my book, but I'm not too worried about it. How's everybody's reading? It looks like we had a couple people join. I see Scorpio Ascending. They are reading The 5-Year Lie by Serena Bowen. What genre does that one fall over? Oh, and it looks like their name is it Camilla or Camilla? I want to make sure I say it right. Glenda knows them, so Glenda called out their name. Anybody make any good progress? Did you do any chores? Did you drink your water? Aiden says The 5-Year Lie is on her TBR. What genre is The 5-Year Lie? I feel like it's probably mystery thriller, but it could also be like just like family drama. Sam said that her book traumatized her, so she zoned out while watching baby finches in the backyard. That has to be so cute. Baby finches, really? Domestic thriller. Okay. I was going to say, it sounds more like a thriller. I feel like mystery thriller books tend to put like lie or kill or murder in the cover. So I think I was like, I feel like last year when I was doing mystery thriller book club, we read like 3 books in a row where the word lie was in the cover. Sarah came back. She's watching Murderbot with the husband. So that I knew that it was coming out. I didn't realize it had released. Also, for those that are new, this is my cat Leela. She's just hanging out. She's kind of blocked by the picture, but let's see if I can get her. Yeah, this is Leela. Stag dance. Okay, so Aiden says, "Oh no, Sam, what are you reading? Baby finches sound like good therapy." Okay, I gotta ask, are they like really tiny? And speaking of Murderbot, I'm actually saving those for next month for the readathon, for the amazing readathon, because they're shorter. I don't know what categories they're gonna fall in yet. And they didn't make my pile of possibilities video, but I am planning to read them if they meet a category. So it was exactly what was promised to me by the person who recommended it, Sarah says. Sam, Aiden is asking if Tori Peters wrote your book. Can you confirm? For those that are new that joined this last stream, I'm reading, I gotta pull up the name. I am reading the book Hunted. Let me get the information for y'all. I am reading the book Hunted by Megan Spooner for a book club that's tomorrow. I have, I'm about halfway done, so I will get it done before tomorrow night. But it's not like my favorite read ever. It's definitely like a play on Beauty and the Beast. The writing style is really great, and I like some of the character development so far. But even as right now at 50%, I'm still sitting at like maybe a 3.5, 3.75. But my rating scale is pretty, like, I try to be fair. I'll say this like I always do. I don't rate books like a reading critic, because I'm not. I rate books based on how I felt while I was reading it. Do I remember it? Did I feel entertained? That's kind of a good thing. I don't just blanket give 5 stars. I mean, not all books are 5-star books for me, but I tend to give 3 to 4 stars for books that, they were entertaining and they were good. So Sarah said, Sam said they're pretty small but can fly by. They do the funny frantic wing flap for feed me. Oh, I love birds that are like that. I had little baby wrens or finches, not wren, yeah, house wrens in my front porch for a while, but they flew the coop not too long ago, and I was pretty sad to see them gone. Sarah said she put one in her shorter book than the last category. That makes sense, and that's kind of why I was holding on to them, because I know there's a category for that. Aiden says the cover of Stag Dance looks like a dating profile. Pictures from some men in the Midwest. It looks horrifying. Are they like shirtless or like looking off into the sunset? I feel like, I mean, I haven't been on a dating profile. I've been married for almost 14 years, but she moved to that. Oh, she moved. Where are you? I wish you guys could hear that. She makes that little trilling sound when I touch her. Yeah, so I'm just in the middle of editing my video. Hoping I can get it finished over the next sprint and then scheduled for you good? Scheduled for tomorrow. Yeah, my favorite fairy Sarah says my favorite fairy tale rewrites will always be the Lunar Chronicles. So I actually talked about the Lunar Chronicles in my last stream. I think it's the first 3. Yeah. But my covers, Sarah, are like this version of it, and I think they've since republished all of them with newer covers. So I'm gonna have to try to find the rest of the series in this cover, so I'll have to probably buy it used, which is fine. But I read these forever ago, and I really loved the first 3. Just never finished it. Aiden says the cover of the book has an image of a dead deer. Yeah, that's not for me. I don't think I'll be reading that. I don't like anything where animals are hurt. Capybaras. Was the ankle too scandalous for that book? Yeah, it's too scandalous, Sam. Actually, it's really funny. We were talking about for the ladies in the chat when you go for your annual physical for your lady doctor, talking about how when you let me see if I can find the exact chat because it was really funny. When you go to your lady doctor appointment and you gotta find it are with them. Where did it go? I'll have to find it. But it's kind of like how when you go, you have to like fold your pants and everything. Like you have to be polite, even though the doctor is going to be in your privates. And my friend said something to the extent of like, when I go, oh, here it is. She said, I'm worried about everything being folded correctly. And the other friend said, Victorian sensibilities always show when you're at the obstetrician's office. And it cracked me up because it's so true. Why is it then we go to doctors that require us to undress to a certain level that we like have to be, I don't know if you guys feel this, but like you have to fold your clothes and stuff and put them away nicely and you don't want them to see your undergarments. Which is funny because they're just looking at you and they don't, the doctor doesn't care what kind of underwear you wear. We were laughing about it. Hide your underwear in your pants. Right. I kind of said, I'm like, at this point, they're not looking at what I'm wearing. You're basically the way you came out. So if the doctor's got a problem with it, then that's on them, not me. Aiden says she does that too. Hide your underwear. Yeah. Anybody else think it's a little awkward to wear socks? I know you're supposed to keep them on, but I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. I guess I feel weird wearing my birthday suit with socks. It is so weird. But, yeah. For those that were here last week, I did finish my dark romance book, Ruthless Creatures, and I actually really liked it, and I would recommend it. It's been my favorite one that we've read so far, which is great. And I actually bought the rest of the series to read because I've heard that it's even better. Excuse me. Depends on how cool the socks are. That's true. I mean, I think I was wearing my sushi socks last time I went. I got like 2 or 3 pairs of socks that I wear over and over. I don't know if you guys are like that, but I got like 2 or 3 that I pick. She's just being so quiet. Usually she's like all in my face. I will say the cats weren't really allowed in this room until I set it up as a library. So they kind of come in here and they're like confused by it because they don't. This was a guest room for a long time. And I'm still working on the shelves. They're set up really nicely, but the rest of the room definitely needs some more work still. But you had the physiotherapist call you out on your sock choice. Is there such a thing as the wrong socks? Like, is there a circumstance where it's the wrong socks? I mean, I guess, like, if you're running, you should probably wear something that's going to protect your feet a little bit more. But unless you need compression socks, I don't see why it matters. I mean, I wear slippers without socks like 90% of the time. So, like, right now I have slippers on. Let me pull them up. My husband got me these. They're little Target ones. They are beat up, but I love them. Apparently, you wear too many socks with cats on. There is no such thing as too many socks with cats. They are wrong. There's also no such thing as too many socks with animals or food. Yeah, Aiden agreed. I have cats and sushi socks. I have socks where it's pumpkin cats. When you're a cat person, it's like a whole thing. Aiden says your physiotherapist just has questionable taste, and I tend to agree with Aiden on that. Why were they so bothered by your socks? I was like, what? Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this sprint a little bit early because we are at 10:16, so I'm trying to be better about staying on track, and we let our last sprint go a little bit long. This is our last sprint of the evening, so we will read for 45 minutes, and then we will reconvene at the end and chit-chat for a little bit. If at any point you need to go to bed, you can choose to say goodbye, but if you just go and you need to get sleep, go for it. Remember to drink your water. Remember to take care of yourself, both mentally and physically, and I will see you guys in 45 minutes. Okay. That is the end of our last sprint for the evening. How did everyone do? Again, I didn't really read much this sprint. I'm still working through my video. I started out with like 33 minutes of footage and now I'm down to about 17. So hopefully I can get some more editing done. At this point, I'm just making sure that everything's correct, and then I need to add the transitions and the cover. So sorry. Oh my goodness. That came out of nowhere. How's everybody's reading going? You survived, Sam? Did you finish your book? I know you said it was kind of shorter. What did everybody else read? Okay. Aiden says, I have 40 pages left and will be happy to finish. Sam says, I wish at 41%. Okay. Sarah got through a few more chapters. Nonfiction is harder for me to get through. I agree. Like, nonfiction is really great, and I really like reading nonfiction because I feel like you can learn a lot from other people. But sometimes the writing is just so boring. I know that it's hard to make like stuff entertaining, but still. Sam, Aiden wants to know that whether you're sticking with it. I hear you on this slower going with nonfiction. Yeah. There's been a few nonfiction books that I've read that I really enjoyed that kind of really like captured my attention, were really entertaining, but it's very rare that I find a nonfiction um, that I stick with the whole time. I read the Body Grief book. She's talking a lot about chronic illness and feeling betrayed by your body. I know a lot of people that have chronic illness feel that way. I get that. Especially when there's really not much you can do. I totally get that. So I see Sarah, Sam, and Aiden. Is there anybody else here? Sam says she's compelled to finish the book. It's only for book, if only for book club. The horror was in the second story. You skipped what you could. Stag dance just seems weird. So, is it like really violent, Sam? I would imagine it is. Also, I don't know if it's because it's been like a short week at work, but I am tired tonight. That doesn't usually happen. I don't usually get this tired. Sarah says, yeah, I relate to her story a lot. Do you have if you're willing to talk about it, do you have like a autoimmune disorder or anything that causes issues? Hopefully the rest of the stories are more palatable chaos, Sam, Aiden says. Yeah. Also, I think I need to figure out lighting. I would like to do something more so it's not top down. I have a lamp, but it's not cutting it. Sam says the second story had animal cruelty, which is a no-fly zone for me. Stag dance is actually just dudes cutting trees, and some have to be woman for a dance. Oh, interesting. Sarah says chronic migraines and hormone issues. Yeah, my husband gets migraines very regularly. It's something that runs in his Sam. It's something that runs in his family. Him and all of his cousins, his mother, his grandmother, they all get them, and they don't really know why. So he actually just went to the doctors a couple days ago to talk to them about just migraine medication, because I guess now as part of the insurance you have to try a few different ones before they'll give him the one that he's been using for years, which I get it, but He's never once abused that medication. So, Aiden says 100% Sam, Sarah. Yeah, it's really powerful when you find a book that resonates so deeply. Yeah, I would agree with that. There was a book I read, and I'm gonna forget her last name, but the book was Educated, and her first name is Tara. I can't remember her last name. That book has stuck with me for years. Sarah says, it's genetic. I love my neurologist. You get Botox from her. I might have to reach out to you because I think you're in my area. And if you are, maybe I can help him with that. I get migraines maybe once a year, and I think they're tied more to my hormones than anything else. Um, Tara Brad. That sounds right. Let me look it up. So it's based on her life story. And it's Tara Westover. I think is who it is. Yeah, it's a memoir. The cover has like a pencil on it. It looks, let me see if I can get this to focus. It looks like that, Aiden. It's like it's about her life, and it's some of the things that happen in the book are very upsetting. So just be prepared if you do read it. It can be very disconcerting. There is a lot of religious abuse in it, so if you have any issues with that, keep that in mind. But it is one of those books. It's kind of like Where the Crawdad Sings, where you see, which obviously Where the Crawdad Sings is not a memoir, but you see the background and history of the particular character. So, Sarah loves Tara Brack. I'm gonna butcher that. Bratch's mindfulness stuff. Yeah. That sounds interesting. Yeah, Educated is really good. So that's kind of one of those like nonfiction books. It doesn't, I guess, does it fall nonfiction? I think it does. But that's one of those categories or one of those books that falls in the category where like I couldn't put the book down. It was very upsetting to read, but it was also like when you see what she overcomes and how she progresses her life, it's pretty cool. So if I could read more stories like that, like even like The Frozen River by Ariel Lawson, it's not actually a memoir, but it's based on a real person. So that's kind of cool to think about like the main character being a real person that lived hundreds of years ago. And like the author read her journal entries to be able to write the story, which is really cool. So there's some really cool stuff. Like I like that kind of stuff where, we're tied to people. You can kind of relate to people. So but again, I would say, be mindful of trigger warnings for both of those books. There are things that happen in both of them that can be upsetting. So, before you dive into it, make sure to read the trigger warnings or just kind of get a general gist for it before you dive right in. Because I did not for both. And I actually had to put the Frozen River down, which I talked about that a few weeks ago. So I did get the third Gilmore Girl, which is a biography. And then I also got I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. That was on Kindle Unlimited. I think it pulled off, but I grabbed it before it went. Because I've been wanting to read that for a while. I think I'm pretty interested in the Nickelodeon people. I feel like there's been a lot of things that happened to them, and I'm curious to see if she's going to talk about any of that. So, if anybody else has read that one, let me know. Sarah likes autobiographies a lot, yeah. You read both of those this year. Okay, cool. I'll have to talk to you a little bit more about them. I think I'll like both of them because they're both characters that I grew up with. So I'd be interested to hear more about their lives. So, anything else that anybody wants to share before we wrap up for the evening? I've got 5 minutes left on the timer. Um, anything else you want to share? Any good news you want to share? I'm always open to hearing good news and bad news. I'm here if you need someone to talk to. I will say, when I'm editing this video, I'm noticing two things about myself. I take really deep breaths when I'm starting new sentences, and I do this a lot when I think, and it looks really silly. So I keep having to edit like half second cuts out of the video because I'm going like this. But I think that's just because I'm not used to being on the camera. It's just awkward because you're talking to nobody, which I guess technically I am right now, but you guys are responding to me. So I like hanging out with you too, Aiden. I really appreciate you guys like and your support for my channel and just being here. It means a lot that you're taking time out of your evening to hang out with me. When I started this, I just thought it would be like a couple people, you know? And we usually have about 4 to 5, but those 4 to 5 people mean the world to me. And for the new people that stopped in today, I really appreciate it. I Sarah says, I have the hardest time looking at the camera. It's so weird. Like right now, I'm looking right at the camera, but I have to look down to read your chat. So I feel like most of the time I'm kind of looking down more, but that's because I'm doing all of this from a laptop. Eventually, I'd like to get to the point where I have like monitors and stuff, but I gotta grow a little bit before I do that. But I really do enjoy doing this. So. All right, y'all. I think it's going to be time for me to go to bed. I got to finish editing this video. I've got to make my cover. There's a bunch of things I got to get working on. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the night. Again, please make sure to take care of yourself. Drink your water, stretch your body, take care of your mind, take care of your body, and hug your loved ones. And I will talk to you next week. Thanks. Bye.